All right. Before we get started, I just want to put a shout out to the Gavin and Lopez family for their loss with Lisa, and for the people of Kansas City. You know, she was a personality there and a very good human being, first of all, and we'll all miss her, as I know her family will. And then just a positive word on Kansas City. That's not what Kansas City is all about. And then for our youth of America, that we gather together and make this is great. You're our future, and as great as we can make this place, we want to do that. And so we can turn this, which was a negative, into a real positive with just a little togetherness and love. I think we can fix a lot of problems here. So the Kansas City Chiefs, on a different note here, in our year, I'm proud of the guys. I'm proud of the organization for a job well done, the coaching staff, and how they went about their business. I just think it was top notch for Brett Veach and his staff, and what they put together for the coaches to work with was great. And then Mark Donovan, as the president of the organization, for him and his staff of just organizing us and making sure we're all going in the right direction, and with the new things that are lying ahead of us here with facilities and so on. I think it's a tribute to all the work that they're putting in here. And then Clark Hunt and the Hunt family for really giving all of us, Mark, Brett, myself, and everybody that works with us, an opportunity to be successful. We appreciate that, and look forward to moving forward here. What has happened has happened. Now we're in the present, and this is a great reminder of that when we come here with all these new players and opportunities to gather new players. Again, this is our first taste of that as coaches. Brett and his staff have been locked in a room here for a week or two since the Super Bowl, and they've been just grinding out players. But from a coach's standpoint, it's nice to get down here and have a chance to meet face-to-face with these kids and see what they're all about. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
Coach, Reid Humphries has had some inconsistencies with his snaps. You saw at the end of regulation, the Super Bowl, Mahomes talking to Rashid, said he couldn't get him the ball because the snap was low. What does Reid need to do to ensure that in the future he's more consistent with snapping?
Yeah, listen, Creed is a diligent player. He's a great player, and so he'll take care of that. I'm not worried about that. He's a relentless worker, and we'll get all that taken care of.
Coach, can you talk about the kind of emotions that this team seemed to thrive off of, maybe more than any other Chiefs team, and kind of how you were able to balance that and keep it in check throughout the season?
Yeah, so from an emotional standpoint, the guys feed off of each other. It starts with Travis. He's been there the longest, and he's got phenomenal energy. So the guys feed off of that energy, along with Patrick and Chris Jones. These are our leaders, senior leaders, and I mean I can take it right down the list of guys. The Sneeds, McDuffies. I mean, we got young and old, but the older guys are the ones that really have built the foundation there, along with our ex-players that have been with us. So, yeah, there's great emotion, and they felt honored to be. We all felt honored to be in a situation where we made the playoffs, and it was a great reward for the hard work of this long season, the ups and downs that we had. So, they were revved up and ready to go.
And what do you make of Nicole ending the season with the ball in his hands after where he came from with the Jets, and do you expect to see the plans for 2023?
Yeah, so listen, I'm not saying anything about the Jets because everybody doesn't fit into every situation. That's just not how it works in this league. We've had McCole. We kind of know how he fits into our scheme, and he did a nice job with that. He came in, worked hard, and was productive for us. So and he had a couple of hiccups early, but he worked through those. We knew he would, and ended up having some great plays in the Super Bowl.
What advice would you give a high school student looking to get where you're at today?
Yeah, you're doing. If you're the student, I'm going to tell you that you're doing the right things by surrounding yourself with the people here and that are in the National Football League. I was fortunate enough to start. I did my student teaching at a high school level, and I kind of worked my way up from there. Division II non-scholarship, and sold hot dogs every Tuesday and Thursday. So it's not all about the glamour, of this. But any avenue you can get in, work hard and be honest, and get a good quarterback.
Andy, it's been 7 years since Mahomes got drafted. He was an unorthodox prospect coming from that offense. How he plays. Do you think the league has kind of come around to that style in the 7 years since he's been drafted?
Yeah, well, I don't know if they've come around, but he's had an influence, I think, in his own way of and style. I think that's opened eyes, especially from that type of an offense. Everybody kind of doubted whether that type of an offense could work. I mean, Lamar's the same way. Can that work? Well, it's pretty good. I mean, I stood here and I was asked about Lamar Jackson on what position I thought he would be, that he could play, whether it was running back or wide receiver. And I'm going, why not try quarterback, right? So give him an opportunity. And he's been the best player since he was a little kid. I think guys are realizing that. I mean, these guys don't get where they're at by not they just didn't transform into these great players. They've been great for a long time.
Why is evaluating talent at quarterback so challenging? So many misses on that. Where are some mistakes you try to avoid?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into that. Where's the staff at? Are they in their last year? Are they in their first year? What offense are you asking this guy to be in? Are you willing to work with his strengths and try to better his, the things that he's not strong at, his weaknesses? Are you willing to stand before you guys and kind of protect that guy so he can grow a little bit? All of those things come into play. There are a lot of things that take place that help mature a quarterback into these great ones that we have. The league's in great hands, by the way. So we've got some real good ones playing.
The quarterback evaluation, Ryan Poles said that he looks for artists and surgeons. How do you go about, helping players find that balance when you're developing quarterbacks?
Yeah, you try to teach. I mean, that's what we're here for. So we're here to teach, and there's it's not all about the plays. It's about how you teach them, and then how you handle the player and how you teach that player. So there's a lot that goes into it. Good job.
Hey, Andy, how you doing?
Good job.
What are your thoughts on Eric Bieniemy and kind of the path that he's gone now to UCLA and not getting that?
Yeah, listen. I'm a big believer in Eric Bieniemy. Wherever he goes and whatever he does, he's going to be good at. So he did that at Washington. He helped change a culture there, and that they'll build on. He's going to demand greatness out of you, and he'll do the same thing at UCLA. I mean, he'll do a great job. He's in charge. It's hard when you're in charge of something to have to step back. He's got an opportunity here to do his thing on offense, and he knows the landscape. He's been at UCLA before, and maybe he's a head coach at the college level, but I thought he should be a head coach here. But if it doesn't happen, maybe he has that opportunity there to do it. But I'm a big fan.
How you evaluate quarterbacks? From the time you've gotten into the league until now, how have you changed the way you evaluate quarterbacks? What do you value differently?
Yeah, not a whole lot different. I was blessed to play the offensive line, so I always say offensive linemen kind of know. You can tell a good quarterback from a bad quarterback. So I've tried not to lose that focus on it. It's pretty simple, but you got to spend time with them and get to know them a bit, and and try to give them put them in different situations as much as you can in environments like this, and visiting them at their campuses or having them come visit you, talking to their coaches, and then talking to the players around them. So I like to. No, I wouldn't say there. I really wouldn't say there is. No.
Andy, as your growth to becoming a coach and as you continue to evolve, is there any books or anything that stands out that you've read that have
Yeah, well, I mean, as football books, Bill Walsh's book is probably the best out there. But there are a lot of guys who have written books, from Tony Dungy to, a lot of Hall of Fame guys have written books, and they're all good. I mean, I've read them all, but Bill's is kind of how you want to be a head coach or a leader of an organization. Here it is, mapped out for you.
And you were mentioning how you came up as a young coach. What do you do as a head coach now to make sure that you're sort of aware of people who are just starting out, just at the beginning of that pipeline, and especially people who don't have, sort of the orthodox into the league, and just making sure that you're aware of the entire pipeline of people who were where you once were?
Yeah, I'm sensitive to that because I got to start at the ground level and work my way up, and I don't really just want to hire somebody to hire somebody. I want somebody that's going to bust their tail, has an appreciation for the game, and is loyal. Now you put in there, you want them to be innately smart and good, easy to work with too. So, or willing to work with. So, but that's how I look at that. Yeah.
Is that a challenge to sort of know who those people are, either in the college game, maybe
Yeah.
other NFL teams?
You try to stay up on all that. I talk to everybody. I don't care, high school. I still go to dinner with all my high school coaches, so I could try to keep in tune. I mean, they're 86 years old, 87 years old. One's turning 80. It just turned 88. I mean, so it's. But there's a great nucleus of guys in the city there that I know, and so I try to stay in touch with those guys, and then at the college level do the same thing. So. Yeah, Donovan did a nice job for us. Good senior leader and ton of experience. We've got a young kid that we drafted, and I thought he was a good example to him. Yeah, listen, that's up to you guys. You just try to make sure you have the team put together and then try to go win that next game. And if you can keep it that simple, then you stay on task and focus. And then if you guys call it a dynasty, hats off to you. Let's just keep going. Right, that's our main thing.
From a scouting standpoint, do you think that two-sport athletes have a better advantage in the current NFL than one who just did football their entire career?
I love kids that have an opportunity to play everything. But that's how I grew up. You played everything, and you were exposed to everything, and then whatever direction you end up going, you went with. So I still encourage that. I've got 12 grandkids, and try to encourage the older ones to go try it. Go try something. That if you have a little interest in it, let's go. Give it a whirl.
Couple more for Coach, guys. Couple more for Coach.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that at the beginning. I don't know if you were here at the beginning, but the law enforcement folks were unbelievable during the situation. We had them from all over the place, and they just immediately jumped in to cover you up mode and make sure that everybody was safe, the best they possibly could with 1 million people there. But I thought they handled everything tremendously, and it wasn't. I'm not just saying that from my standpoint, but from I had a bird's eye view of things going on. So I thought they were great.
years at this point, has the success recently changed your perspective on what you're doing?
I don't think you can do that. I think you've got to. I mean, you know this. We've been together before, so you know this. I think it's a little bit monotonous, but it's the preparation that really matters. That's what's real. So there's a lot of hoopla that goes on with it, but that preparation and to stay grounded, stay humble, all those things become very important because the parity in this league is like that. And if you're off a tick, somebody's going to whack you, and you don't want that to take place. You want to stay as focused as you can on the job at task, and it's hard. I mean, it's hard to win in this league. It's hard to win a Super Bowl in this league. So anything that's knocking you off to one side or the other, not good. You know.
Last question.
You saying the past couple of years you've evolved your offense more in the middle of the season, or is that just kind of an overrated thing?
Yeah, well, I mean, every year you kind of do that. And you always want to come in with a couple new things, wrinkles here and there, get a feel on your team the best you can when when things are live and count. And so I think you kind of follow that and evaluate that as you go. Every year is different. So that's kind of what we did this year. We had some drops and penalties early, obvious. Those things hurt you, and so you've got to work around that, fix the problem, work around it, make sure that you still have opportunities to win the game. So the run game became more important. Our defense did a tremendous job for us, so that we could also grow on offense. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Good. Thanks.